Realizing your true power means, first and foremost, showing kindness to yourself. Often we are our own harshest critics, constantly berating ourselves for imperfections and mistakes. But true strength lies in self-compassion. Acknowledge that you are human, and humans, as we know, sometimes stumble. Instead of self-flagellation, learn from experience, striving for growth. Strength is not in invulnerability, but in the ability to overcome difficulties with dignity and empathy. Accepting true strength also involves understanding the value of support and love from others. Strength does not exist in a vacuum. Asking for help is normal. It is not a weakness, but a sign of maturity. We are interconnected, and realizing that you do not have to bear all the burdens alone is an important component of gaining inner strength. Friends, family, mentors, they are ready to offer support, instill hope, and share wisdom in difficult moments. Ultimately, embracing your true power is recognizing your own, often underestimated potential. It is trusting yourself, being willing to be vulnerable, and being persistent in overcoming life's obstacles. True strength is not invincibility, but authenticity, resilience, and compassion for yourself. By embracing your inner strength, you unlock limitless possibilities that can guide you through any challenges. You are capable of more than you think, and by harnessing this inner power, you can create a life that reflects your true strength and purpose. The path to realizing true strength begins with showing kindness to yourself. Many of us become our own harshest critics, constantly condemning ourselves for the slightest flaws and mistakes. However, true strength is built on self-compassion. Understand that you are human, and humans, as we know, are prone to making mistakes. Instead of self-flagellation, focus on learning from past experiences, striving for personal growth and development. Strength is not invulnerability, but the ability to overcome life's adversities with dignity and empathy for yourself. Accepting true strength also involves recognizing the importance of support and love from loved ones. Strength does not exist in isolation. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but an indication of maturity and wisdom. We are all interconnected, and understanding that you do not have to bear all the burdens alone is key to gaining inner strength. Friends, family, mentors, they are all ready to lend a helping hand, instill hope, and share their experience in difficult times. Ultimately, embracing your true strength is recognizing your often underestimated potential. It is trusting yourself, being willing to be vulnerable, and being steadfast in overcoming obstacles on life's path. True strength is not invincibility, but authenticity, resilience, and compassion for yourself. By realizing your inner strength, you will open up limitless possibilities that will help you cope with any difficulties. You are capable of much more than you think, and by harnessing this inner power, you can create a life that will reflect your true strength and purpose. Think for a moment. Deep down, each of us has experienced moments of weakness, doubt, and fear. These feelings whisper to us that we are not good enough, not strong enough, or not worthy of love and success. However, it is important to remember that these feelings are not a reflection of your true essence. They are merely echoes of past experiences, outdated patterns that it is finally time to get rid of. Are you ready for this liberation? Are you ready to discover the incredible strength within you that has always been there? You will find out the answer to this question by watching the video to the end. There are moments when we are overcome by doubts, insecurity, and fear, feelings that can overshadow our hopes and dreams, seeming insurmountable. It is easy to succumb to the thought that these emotions are an integral part of ourselves, our unchanging self. But the truth is that these fleeting feelings are just temporary companions that do not reflect our true essence. Their power over us depends only on our permission for them to be present. By accepting doubt and fear as something permanent, we begin to identify with them, mistakenly believing that they define our capabilities. This is a profound misconception. These emotions are like fleeting clouds in the vast sky. They are present, but do not make up its essence. Our true self, like the sky, remains unchanged despite temporary weather phenomena. One of the most valuable discoveries is the realization of the impermanence of emotions. They are like ocean waves. They rise, reach their crest, and inevitably fall. The problem arises when we cling to these feelings, giving them excessive power. Forgetting their transient nature, we amplify their influence. The more strongly we hold on to negative emotions, the more they seem to control us. However, by recognizing their impermanence, we can learn to observe them without letting them define our lives. The key to freedom lies in understanding that these feelings are merely temporary guests, and their influence depends entirely on us. The emergence of anxiety or fear requires acknowledging their nature. They are simply signals, often echoes of past experiences, memories of long-told stories of failure, criticism, or feeling unwanted. Once these feelings may have served as protection from pain, but today they are no longer relevant to us, to our current selves. Recognizing this allows us to treat them with compassion rather than confrontation. The phrase, "I see you, I hear you, but I don't need you anymore," initiates the process of liberation. However, getting rid of negative emotions does not mean ignoring or suppressing them. On the contrary, trying to distance ourselves only amplifies their influence. The well-known truth states, "What we resist persists." A different approach is needed. When such emotions arise, allow them to fully manifest without self-judgment. Be with them, but remember their temporary nature. They are guests who have come with a lesson, but not permanent residents of your heart and mind. The key is self-awareness. It is important to observe our emotional reactions without completely dissolving into them. It is easy to get stuck in negative thoughts, believing that a moment of doubt defines our entire future life. But by developing awareness, we create distance between ourselves and our emotions. In this space, clarity is found. We begin to understand that feelings are not facts, but reactions, often conditioned by the past. By viewing them from this perspective, we regain control over the situation. It is important to remember that feeling weak or insecure is a completely normal phenomenon, common to every person, regardless of their visible successes. Even the most self-assured individuals experience moments of doubt. The difference lies only in the reaction. Some allow these feelings to control them, limiting their potential, while others acknowledge them, learn from them, and move on. This is a conscious choice available to everyone. The key to overcoming such feelings is self-compassion. We often become our own biggest critics, condemning ourselves for fear or insecurity, which only amplifies negative emotions. Try changing your approach. Talk to yourself with kindness and understanding. In moments of weakness, offer yourself the same support that you would give a close friend in a difficult situation. Remind yourself that experiencing such emotions is natural, but they are not eternal. You are a developing individual, and your feelings are constantly changing. When negative emotions seem unbearable, turn to your true essence. You are not your fears and doubts. You are something more. Behind these temporary feelings lies your inner core of strength, resilience, and love, indestructible to fleeting emotions. This is your true self, an unchanging core that remains unshaken in the face of difficulties. Therefore, when doubt or fear reappears, meet them calmly. Acknowledge their existence, understand their cause, and then gently let them go. They cannot stay if you do not allow them to. You are the master of your emotions, and it is within your power to let go of what is hindering you. Weakness is only a temporary state, not defining your worth or future. Believe in yourself, because you have everything you need to overcome any difficulties. There are times when emotions completely overwhelm us, determining our thoughts, actions, and even our perception of the world. Sadness can be oppressive, fear can be paralyzing, and anger can be all-consuming. In such moments, it seems that we are puppets in the hands of our own feelings, helpless in the face of their onslaught. But this is a deceptive feeling. You are much stronger than your emotions. You are capable of understanding, controlling, and even transforming them. They are a part of you, but they do not define your essence. To realize your own power over emotions, you must first understand their nature. Emotions are natural reactions to life experiences, reflecting our perception and interaction with the world around us. Both positive and negative feelings serve a specific function. Joy and inspiration encourage the search for what fills life with meaning, while fear and anger protect from potential danger. However, the naturalness and importance of emotions do not mean their unconditional correctness or correspondence to our interests. They are changeable, inconstant, and often erroneous, often being echoes of past experiences or outdated habits. By allowing emotions to control us, we give them the reins of our own lives. For example, fear, taking over, forces us to avoid risks, refusing self-development and growth. It instills in us that discomfort and failure are a threat, not opportunities for learning and improvement. Fear convinces us of our own inadequacy, insufficiency, and the need to adhere to safe but unpromising paths. But in reality, fear is just a reaction to the unknown. And although it may seem insurmountable at the moment, it is not stronger than your ability to resist it and move forward. Just as fog obscures a clear path, anger clouds the mind, prompting hasty, ill-considered actions. It can instill a false sense of righteousness, justifying grievances and the thirst for revenge. However, such actions, dictated by anger, only exacerbate existing problems instead of resolving them. You have the power to stop, consider the situation, and respond wisely, rather than succumbing to emotions. You are the master of your reactions to life's challenges, not your anger. The path to gaining control over emotions begins with awareness. Instead of reacting instantly to a surge of feelings, take time to observe it. Pay attention to the physical sensations, the thoughts it generates, and what it is trying to tell you. This awareness creates distance between you and the emotion, helping to understand that the emotion is not you, but merely an experience that does not define your essence. This understanding is the first step towards gaining power over your feelings. One effective method of managing emotions is self-compassion. In moments of difficult experiences, we often condemn ourselves for the feelings we experience, thinking, "I shouldn't feel this way," or "What's wrong with me?" Such self-flagellation only exacerbates suffering. Instead, practice kindness towards yourself. Acknowledge that sadness, anger, or fear are normal human emotions. They are a natural part of life, and there is no need to resist them or deny their existence. It is important to remember, experiencing emotions is normal, but they should not control you. Reframing emotions is a path to personal growth. Instead of perceiving feelings as obstacles, View them as opportunities for self-discovery and development. Ask yourself questions. What is this anxiety teaching me? What information does this emotion carry? Feelings are valuable signals, and curiosity, rather than resistance, will open doors to a deeper understanding of yourself. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing emotions. It helps to stay in the present, observing thoughts and feelings without judgment. The practice of mindfulness improves the recognition of emotions and their influence on behavior, allowing you to react thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Remember, emotions are temporary phenomena, and we are capable of experiencing them without letting them control us. Emotions are energy that can accumulate, causing a feeling of depression. However, this energy can be released. Physical activity, creativity, a frank conversation, all this helps to redirect the emotional charge. You are not chained to your feelings forever. You have the power to free, transform them, and choose your own emotional state. The key to gaining power over emotions is understanding their transience. Emotions are like ocean waves. They come and go. There are days when it seems that the waves are breaking with great force, but like waves, emotions subside. You are a solid, unwavering coastline. Even the strongest wave will not change your essence. It is only a temporary phenomenon, and you are much more stable than any emotion. Recognizing this truth returns control to you. You learn to manage emotional waves without losing your balance. You are stronger than your emotions because you are able to choose your reaction. You are not your sadness, anger, fear, or joy. You are the one who experiences these emotions, and in this awareness lies your true strength. The universal power of love is capable of creating miracles, healing, transforming, and elevating us. We are used to associating love with relationships with others, family, friends, loved ones. But there is another, often underestimated kind of love: self-love. It is this self-love that is the key to overcoming weakness, allowing you to accept your own vulnerability, not as a flaw, but as an incentive for development and change. When faced with weakness, insecurity, fear, doubts, we often try to suppress these feelings, considering them negative, shameful. But such resistance only reinforces weakness, turning into an internal struggle. The paradox is that the more we fight vulnerability, the more firmly it clings to us. Love offers a different path. Instead of rejection, it calls to recognize, accept, and understand your weaknesses. Only through love do we begin to see their true nature, temporary states that do not define our essence. Love teaches that there is nothing shameful in weakness, that it is normal to experience moments of powerlessness. It is in such moments of vulnerability that love gives comfort, support, and healing necessary to overcome difficulties. Accepting your weaknesses with love and understanding, we cease to perceive them as a shameful burden that needs to be hidden. These feelings become natural manifestations of human nature, signals about the needs of our soul, requiring care and attention. Self-love allows you to show tenderness, compassion instead of self-criticism, realizing that weakness is not a defeat, but an important stage of growth. The key to liberation from the power of weakness is compassion for yourself. This is the ability to treat oneself with the same kindness, understanding, and forgiveness that we extend to loved ones. In moments of weakness, we are often overcome by self-flagellation. I must be stronger. Why do I feel this way? Such harsh self-criticism only exacerbates the problem, distancing us from inner strength. By replacing judgment with compassion, we create a safe internal space that allows us to feel without shame or guilt. We remind ourselves of the normality of such experiences, that they do not diminish our value or abilities. Self-compassion weakens the power of weakness, as we cease to fuel it with negative self-perception. Instead, we fill ourselves with love, acceptance, and understanding. Love acts as a powerful tool for overcoming weaknesses, allowing us to perceive ourselves in full measure. Often, when faced with difficulties, we focus solely on the problem, ignoring our own merits, talents, and unique qualities. Love helps us to step back and see the whole picture, reminding us that we are something more than our temporary setbacks. We are complex personalities with enormous inner potential, strength, and endurance. Self-love allows us to harmoniously combine our strengths and weaknesses, understanding their interconnectedness and inseparability. Moreover, it is in recognizing and accepting our shortcomings that we often discover hidden reserves and new opportunities. Love gives us the courage to face our vulnerability, understanding that this is not a cause for fear, but an important lesson for self-development. In addition, love promotes a sense of unity with oneself and the surrounding world. In a state of self-love, we feel more stable, focused, and harmonious. This inner connection strengthens our belief in our own strength and ability to overcome any obstacle. Weakness ceases to be something isolating or demeaning, turning into a natural part of life, common to all people. We understand that vulnerability is not an exception, but a normal state, a natural stage of life's journey. Love is not only acceptance, but also the ability to ask for support. It teaches us that asking for help is not a weakness, but a manifestation of strength of spirit. Finding the courage to acknowledge one's own neediness is truly a brave act, and love gives us this courage, freeing us from feelings of shame or inadequacy. Ultimately, love frees us from the shackles of weakness, transforming our self-perception and attitude to difficulties. It helps us to move from self-criticism and resistance to acceptance, compassion, and personal growth. Love shows that weaknesses are a natural part of human life, not a cause for fear or concealment. On the contrary, accepting one's shortcomings with love gives the strength to overcome them, to grow above them, and to approach one's true potential. Fear is a universal feeling, often overwhelming and paralyzing. However, at its core, fear is an illusion, a mental construct fueled by our thoughts, beliefs, and imagined scenarios. It thrives on uncertainty, on fabricated stories about possible failures. But despite its apparent reality, fear is surmountable. It can be recognized, controlled, and ultimately completely defeated, gaining clarity and confidence in the future. The instinct for self-preservation, fear, has served as a reliable shield for humanity for centuries. In the primitive world, it was a matter of life and death, helping to avoid deadly dangers, encounters with predators or natural disasters. However, in modern society, although the function of fear remains the same, its objects have changed. Today we fear not physical death, but failure, condemnation, rejection, events that do not threaten life, but evoke equally intense emotional reactions. The key to overcoming fear is understanding its nature. It is a reaction to something that has not yet happened. Fear is a game of imagination, an endless cycle of what if? What if I fail? What if I am rejected? What if I lose everything? These questions, constantly swirling in the head, generate anxiety and stress about events that may never happen. Thus, fear is an illusion, a product of imagination, not reality. It does not exist in the present, living only in our thoughts about the future. Realizing that fear is a product of our own thinking gives us power over it. We are the creators of our fear, which means we are able to destroy it. The first step is awareness. Understanding the source of fear, we can question its validity. Are these fears rational? Are they based on facts or on exaggerations of the imagination? Often, upon detailed analysis, our fears turn out to be less threatening than they initially seemed. What seemed like an insurmountable obstacle becomes manageable after we expose the layers of anxiety and unfounded assumptions. The key to defeating fear is direct confrontation. In avoidance and suppression, fear grows like a shadow, gaining ever greater power. Only bold opposition can weaken its influence. This doesn't mean reckless actions, but a gradual expansion of your comfort zone, step by step. Action are the most effective weapon against fear. They interrupt the vicious cycle, focusing attention on the present rather than on frightening fantasies about the future. Even the smallest steps towards overcoming fear strengthen belief in your own abilities. A previously insurmountable obstacle begins to melt away when we realize our inner strength. With each step, confidence grows, shattering the illusion of fear. It's important to understand that fear is often a distorted perception of reality. Our minds tend to exaggerate threats, presenting them as far more dangerous than they actually are. This leads to an overestimation of the probability of negative events and an underestimation of our own capabilities. An objective view of the situation helps to see the true scale of the problem, a temporary emotion that doesn't define us or our destiny. Fear weakens when we stop resisting uncertainty. The desire to control everything, to know the future with certainty, is the source of many fears. Life is unpredictable, and attempts to control every aspect of it lead to disappointment and anxiety. Accepting uncertainty as a natural state frees us from the need to anticipate and prevent all possible negative scenarios. We learn to trust ourselves, our ability to adapt to any circumstances, knowing that we can cope with the unknown. Overcoming fear is aided by mindfulness, the ability to live in the present. Fear often snatches us from the current moment, dragging us into a future full of imagined threats. The feeling of presence, focusing on real, tangible things here and now, is the key to liberation. In this state, fear is powerless. It cannot exist outside of projections. Concentrating on what is happening, rather than on possible future events, restores control and weakens the influence of fear. Self-compassion is also important. When fear arises, it's easy to start criticizing yourself, condemning yourself for weakness, demanding superhuman strength from yourself. However, fear is a natural human emotion. It's important not to dwell on it. A benevolent attitude towards yourself creates an inner support, allowing you to face fear with courage rather than with self-flagellation. Ultimately, fear is an illusion that can be overcome. It may seem real now, but this is a deceptive impression. Understanding the nature of fear, directly confronting it, taking small steps towards the frightening. All of this destroys the mental barriers that feed fear. We are capable of conquering our fears, moving forward despite them, and gaining freedom and confidence. You are the architect of your own life. This simple but fundamental truth reveals the secret of shaping our world through thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Many live feeling like puppets of circumstances, powerless in the face of what is happening. But recognizing yourself as the creator of your own reality reveals an incredible power of influence and transformation in all areas of existence. Our life is a mirror of the inner world, and a transformation of thinking inevitably leads to a change in reality. At the heart of this understanding lies the power of thought. Every thought is an energetic impulse that shapes the events we attract. Constant fixation on negativity, fear, doubt, self-criticism materializes into problems, obstacles, and failures. Conversely, focusing on positivity, hope, confidence, love attracts favorable events. This is a principle known as the law of attraction. Like attracts like, reflecting back the energy we emit. Many mistakenly believe that happiness and success depend on external factors. However, reality is shaped not by the events themselves, but by our interpretation and reaction to them. Two people in an identical situation may exhibit diametrically opposed reactions, conditioned by their internal beliefs. One will see a problem as an opportunity for growth, the other as an inevitable defeat. It is this difference in perception that determines radically different outcomes. The power lies in the ability to choose how to perceive and react to life's situations. On the path to the desired life, it is essential to recognize the beliefs and mental models that shape the present. Many of us are bound by limiting beliefs inherited from childhood or past experiences, hindering the realization of our potential. These beliefs, sometimes unconscious, whisper about our inadequacy, about the unattainability of success for us, about the undeservedness of happiness and love. They trigger a self-fulfilling prophecy, dictating our actions and decisions. However, the good news is that these beliefs are not immutable. Just as our thoughts and beliefs have shaped our current reality, we are capable of changing them, creating a new life. The path begins with self-analysis. It is necessary to set aside time to study our guiding principles and assess whether they serve us. Limiting beliefs should be replaced with inspiring ones that align with your desired reality. For example, a belief in your own inability to succeed can be refuted by finding evidence to the contrary. Recalling past achievements, even minor ones, strengthens your self-belief. By constantly reinforcing a new belief with thoughts, words, and actions, you root it in your subconscious, observing subsequent changes in the surrounding world. Transforming our beliefs must be accompanied by active steps toward creating the reality we desire. Passive, positive thoughts or visualization are insufficient. Specific actions are needed. This implies clearly defining goals, taking purposeful actions, and being ready to seize emerging opportunities. The world responds to our actions, and confident, conscious steps open new horizons. Emotions, which reflect the energy emanating from us, play a key role in shaping our lives. Constant fear, anxiety, or disappointment create low-frequency energy, attracting similar experiences. Conversely, love, gratitude, and joy raise vibrations, attracting positivity. Gratitude is particularly important, a powerful tool for shifting focus from shortcomings to existing blessings. It helps us remember positive moments, even in difficult situations. Regular gratitude practice transforms our energy, fostering abundance and positivity. Gratitude is an integral part of creating a happy life filled with love and self-fulfillment. We are the architects of our own lives, but we are not alone in this grand construction. Our creative activity is intertwined with the energies of the universe, which keenly respond to our vibrations. Trusting life and believing in the support of higher powers unlocks access to wisdom, help, and inspiration. This means letting go of the desire to control every step, allowing life to flow naturally. Faith in the process and openness to new opportunities are the keys to collaborating with the universe, to creating a life that exceeds our wildest expectations. Ultimately, we are the creators of our reality, capable of shaping it with the power of our thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and actions. By recognizing the energy we emit and making conscious choices that align with our desired future, we can radically change our lives. Whether it's a desire for love, abundance, success, or inner peace, it all begins with understanding our creative power. Our perception of the world mirrors our inner reality, and accepting responsibility for creating it opens the path to limitless possibilities. Within each of us lies a powerful force, waiting for its moment. This is not brute physical strength or a desire for dominance, but a quiet, inner energy, the essence of our true self. It manifests in moments of difficult trials, when the world crumbles and we find the strength to move forward. Recognizing this power means understanding that no matter what happens, there is an inexhaustible source within us that helps us overcome difficulties, rise, and become stronger than before. Many mistakenly believe that true strength is inflexibility, an unbreakable armor, constant forward motion without rest. However, true strength is not a show of composure when a hurricane rages inside. Real strength is the courage to face the truth, even if it is incredibly difficult. It is honesty with oneself and others, accepting the full spectrum of emotions, from elation to despair, from anger to fear, but without allowing these feelings to control you. Accepting your true strength means understanding that vulnerability is not weakness, but on the contrary, evidence of courage, a willingness to face your emotions, work with them, and not avoid or suppress them. One of the greatest manifestations of strength is self-knowledge, the ability to self-analyze, recognize one's limitations and fears, and be willing to take responsibility for one's life. Often we seek confirmation, approval, and solutions to our problems from the outside. But true strength lies in realizing that everything we need is already within us. The answers to our questions, the paths to solving problems, the resilience to overcome difficulties, all of this is available to us. The main thing is to trust yourself and believe in your own strength. This inner strength does not depend on external factors. It remains constant, even in the most chaotic periods. Life inevitably presents challenges, sometimes devastating, but it is important to remember that strength is measured not by the magnitude of the difficulties, but by our reaction to them. When life throws a challenge, when plans crumble, that is when our true strength manifests. We do not always feel strong, and that is normal. It is important to continue moving forward, even if in small steps. True strength is not only power and achievement, but also indomitable resilience, the ability to overcome failures and rise again after falls, no matter how many there may be. It's easy to feel strong in favorable times, but true strength is revealed in life's challenging moments. Resilience is that inner spring that lifts us up after defeats, makes us dust ourselves off and continue on our way when we feel like giving up. Each time we overcome obstacles and persistently move forward, we unlock our true strength, and with each such step, it grows stronger. Another important aspect of gaining strength is an undeniable trust in yourself. Often we doubt our own abilities, seek advice and approval from others, forgetting that the true answers are within us. Each of us has inner wisdom capable of guiding us through life's storms. We need only listen to its quiet voice. Trusting yourself means being able to block out the noise of the outside world, other people's opinions, societal expectations, the pressure to conform to standards. Instead, you need to follow your own intuition, a powerful tool that opens access to an inexhaustible source of inner strength, capable of helping in any situation. To fully unlock your strength, it is necessary to abandon the illusion of perfection. Striving for the ideal only leads to disappointment and insecurity. True strength is not flawlessness, but authenticity, accepting yourself with all your shortcomings. Understanding that you are good enough as you are frees you from the pressure to meet unrealistic standards, allowing you to draw strength from within rather than from external validation. Understanding your own true strength is inextricably linked to kindness towards yourself. We often become our own strict judges, constantly condemning our own shortcomings and mistakes. However, true strength lies in self-compassion, in recognizing your own humanity and the inevitability of mistakes on life's journey. Instead of self-flagellation, you should learn from experience, drawing lessons from failures and using them for growth. Strength is not invulnerability, but the ability to overcome difficulties with dignity, showing yourself compassion and understanding. Accepting your strength also implies an awareness of the support and love of those around you. Strength does not exist in a vacuum. Asking for help is not a weakness, but a sign of maturity and strength. We are all interdependent, and the ability to recognize the need for support and turn to loved ones for it is an important component of inner strength. Friends, family, mentors, they can all provide invaluable assistance, offering support, encouragement, and wise guidance in difficult moments. In the end, accepting true strength is recognizing your own, often underestimated capabilities. It's a belief in yourself, a willingness to be vulnerable, and persistence in overcoming difficulties. True strength is not in invincibility, but in authenticity, resilience, and compassion for yourself. Awareness of inner strength unlocks access to limitless potential, helping you cope with any of life's challenges. You are capable of more than you think, and by turning to this inner reserve, you will create a life that reflects your true strength and purpose.